Welcome back, everyone, to the channel. Hope you're having a great one out there. Previously, I showed you guys my playlist on Spotify, my general playlist, where I just toss a bunch of songs, that I like, and the whole point of the playlist is for me to be able to put it on shuffle, and no matter what comes up, I enjoy what's there. So I showed you my general playlist and some of my frequently listened albums, but today I'm going to go and show you some other playlists. I'll show you some other stuff here. Now, what I should have done, hold on, let me put the chat back here. There you guys are. There you guys are. Moving, chat. All right, let's put you guys up here for now. So people can see most of the playlist. All right, so because our chat requested it, we're going to go through our jazz playlist. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to mix the jazz playlist with I don't know, I'll mix it with one of them. We'll see. So let me open up my jazz playlist, which is right here entitled Jazz JP. And we'll go ahead and take a look at what's in here. You can already see an idea what's over here. Now, I'm obviously not going to play the music that's in here because, copyright, and I'm trying not to do anything here. But here's the music. Now, that's a quick scroll, but let's go through it little by little. Now, a lot of these I'm not overly familiar with, like the bands or the groups or anything like that. These are just songs, tracks that I've heard in some way, some shape, some form, and I was very attracted to those tracks, and so I tossed them on. So, for example, the first track on here, From Gagarin's Point of View, is just this beautiful, slow, like methodical kind of track. I'm not gonna play like a lot of it, but like 5 seconds is tops. Like you kind of hear like that beginning from the opening of that track. I just like how it slow rolls into everything. The thickness of the drums and the bass as it opens, that boom, and the snap of the snare there, and the piano lightly dancing upon that. There's a little bits of dissonance that are thrown on there, but it's just a really wonderful track. Kandaiki from Mammal Hands. Like for example, Mammal Hands, don't know this group at all. I don't know where I heard this, somewhere, and I just really, really enjoyed what was happening on it. So, Kandaiki from Mammal Hands. A lot of these are kind of slower, mid-paced kind of tracks. Like if I skip ahead on this one. Like, it's more in that style. I have a little fusion on here as well, but most of the tracks on here are definitely more into a slower to mid-paced kind of style. Because when I'm listening to jazz or something jazz-related, that's kind of what I like. You can see here that some Pekka Pohjola was here, but it got blacked out because apparently Spotify, at least in the US, has removed this, but, it would be there. We have Stefan Karecki Quartet. Once again, listen to that bass, listen. Come on, you heard that bass and you're already in a good place. You're already in a great place with that. You know what? I guess I could have kept the chat I'm moving the screen. Guess I could have kept you guys down here. Actually, it's kind of hard to figure out where to put you because there's so many words on the screen. I don't know where to put you over here. But anyways, and then listen to the. I just love those high notes on that stand-up bass and the way it plays. It's just so gorgeous. The emptiness of the space there. You have some, big names. Bill Evans. Bill Evans is fantastic. Now, also in this playlist, in a lot of places, you'll see stuff like this. Like, this is a jazz mixed with classical music in this particular case. And I have a few others, like here, Mozart. Probably one of the faster kind of things. Like, I just think that is so cool. Now, it's not like I'm familiar really with like the classical piece of music that is influenced from. I'm not, because I have no idea about that. But it's just a really cool mixture of classical and jazz. There's a couple of tracks, like I mentioned, on here relating. Like I said, you also have Handel. This is definitely faster, but smoother and a little quicker. Just some really, really good stuff. Also have some classics. In a Sentimental Mood is one of possibly my favorite jazz piece of music of all time. Possibly. I'd have to think about it, so I don't want to jump too far ahead, but it's top 3 for sure. The opening. I think the opening is just one of the best openings in music, to be honest. Okay, right? Listen, copyright. And then like that little bit of piano just setting you up, that's the light tapping on the drums, it's like the band is getting into position. And then oh my god. That is genuinely one of the best opens in music. I just think that is gorgeous. Like gorgeously beautiful. The way that opens with the piano, everyone getting into place, and then the way that Coltrane just blows out of there. It's so romantic. It's just everything. That is everything. I see that some of you you already see what's on the playlist with João Gilberto, Stan Getz. This is a classic album. Antonio Carlos Jobim. Doralicia make me dizzy. That's a great track. Oh, pato. Bing, bing. The classic of Girl from Ipanema. You know, I snuck some bossa nova in here as well. And then moving down, you do have a second track here from Esbjorn Svensson Trio, which we heard a little bit before in the first track there. Chick Corea, Spain. It's a hallmark. It's a classic. Like, come on. Everyone knows that. Pat Metheny with You Are. Some of these tracks, of course, you will have noticed that we listened to and did a first reaction, and then I brought them on over here. Blue and Green, Miles Davis, Kind of Blue. Once again, one of the most popular jazz albums of all time. Pretty sure, if I remember correctly, it is the best-selling jazz album of all time, and for a great reason. And Blue and Green is, to me, once again, lined up with In a Sentimental Mood as one of the most beautiful tracks ever. Period. Regardless of genre and anything of that nature. Roy Hargrove is a really great newer jazz musician. This track is very like slow and semi and smoky, and it just takes its time kind of walking down the street. Let me skip around. It's just a really, really great piece of music. Once again, you have some classical jazz fusion here, featuring Ron Carter on the bass. And once again, I'm not familiar with like the classical part of it, but it's just really, really wonderful. First, Hypnopédie right here. That would be, of course, referencing Eric Satie as well. I actually have a decent amount of, now that I'm noticing, of the classical mix of jazz. Take 5, who doesn't know that track? Romantic Warrior, Return to Forever. There's a little bit of your fusion. Black is the Color of My True Love's Hair is definitely the most abstract track on my jazz playlist, because I don't even think could be exactly considered jazz. This is a weird track. I can't even describe. It's like ambient with some weird dissonance in it involved. Lots of weird sounds kind of scattering around. To me, it's closer to ambient than anything else, truthfully. Just some. Welcome. Am I diving into any black metal anytime soon? While I do not have any black metal currently on like my schedule, I have an album on my wish list, which is my way of keeping track of albums I want to listen to. If you remind me after I go through this, I'll look at what album that is. I can't remember what album it is though off the top of my head, but I have something on my list there. Sound of Water is one of the most beautiful Pat Metheny tracks that I heard. I actually saw a live performance of this track, and I can't remember how. I think I just came across it online. I mean, I did just come across it, and I listened to it and I watched it, and it was just gorgeous. Let's skip around here. Now, Pat Metheny actually blocks, so I got to be really careful with that. But Yeah, just a really, really wonderful track, that one. You got some Mahavishnu Orchestra, Hope, also Miles Beyond. Breathe from Alpha Mist is really, really wonderful. More of a modern jazz take, and I think this is great. Skip around here. Yeah. Wes Montgomery, one of the best guitarists, period. And In Your Own Sweet Way is, once again, one of those tracks that I hold very high. Do I have in a sentimental mood here twice? I have this track on my playlist twice. Okay, as much as I love it, it doesn't need to be on my playlist twice. I love the track, obviously, but yeah, I don't need to have it on there twice. Like I said, In Your Own Sweet Way. Satoshi Takebi. This is a track, I believe, from a Studio Ghibli film. I don't know which one, but it's like, I don't know, it's very anime-ish. I like this. Kind of has a Disney kind of sound to it. I'm not going to go over every little single one, but, you know, of course, a lot of these you can see. Flight Over Rio by Aldi Meola. Another classic. Giant Steps, John Coltrane. Another hallmark in jazz. I am definitely taking a few chances. That's why I'm playing like little snippets and kind of skipping around. If I don't play more than, well, there's not really a hard and fast rule, but to be honest, Santana with Waves Within. Truthfully, this whole album could jump on this playlist, but I try to keep it, you know, little by little. Mahavishnu Orchestra again with You Know. Storm Will Pass, Adam Blackstone. I randomly came across this track, and it reminded me of something that my dad would like a lot. And when he was in the hospital last year, I remember playing this track for him because we were in the hospital. He was in the hospital a lot, and I was just like playing random jazz songs, seeing what he would like, because he was a huge jazz fan, even though he was like very much I only listen to the classics jazz fan. And I played this song for him, and I think it's great. And he was like, it's alright. He was very much like, it's fine. I'm like, I think it's really good, but, you know, what can you do? Ariel, thank you so much for popping in. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Bonne nuit. I don't know if it's night over there, but, you know, bonne nuit. And then I have Minuano68. We had listened to that on the channel, and that is the last song, or the most recent song that I have added onto my jazz playlist over here. Now, after my jazz playlist, let's go. That's my jazz playlist over here. I only have 45 songs here. It's a 3-hour playlist. Now, I'm very strict with my playlist, so it needs to be a track that, like I said, if I put this thing on shuffle, I'm going to be very happy listening to, no matter what pops up here. So from here, let's go somewhere completely different. Let's go to my metal playlist, because this is going to be like at least a couple more videos of me doing this. Ariel, bonne nuit, Ariel. See ya. Listen, have a wonderful evening. Get some rest. Get some sleep. Friendly bush lion. Am I going to, let's see, any idea when you'll check out Soft Machine Volume 2? It's not on my immediate list, only because I've noticed that Soft Machine sometimes blocks, because they blocked when I did bundles, and I've heard issues with other reactors having with them. So anytime an artist blocks like a whole album, or like most of the discography, it pushes me slightly away, because it's just more to deal with. I'm not saying I'll never do them again. They're just not in my near future. But I am glad that you enjoy the Tears for Fears and Frank Zappa. So we will be doing some more of that. All right, so that's my jazz playlist. Let's jump into something completely different, and my metal playlist. All right, metal playlist. We got 40 songs. Another 40-song, 3-hour compilation here. Once again, a lot of these bands I may not be overly familiar with, but when I want something hard and heavy, this is what I toss on to the metal playlist. So, honestly, I actually got to clean this up a little bit, because some of the songs on here I don't need anymore. I don't listen to I need to remove some of them. I'm very strict on my playlist. Like I said, I trim the fat. So we have up here Post-Truth Era. This is one I probably need to get rid of. I Sever. These are decent. These are decent. I'm gonna play you the ones, like I'll play snippets of the ones that I like. I like a lot, right? Like Holy War's The Punishment Due, Megadeth. It's a classic. Who doesn't like this? Like you hear the riff, you know where it's going, right? Is that really loud for you guys, by the way? Because it's super loud for me. I know it's metal, but it's the music is like so loud for me. I don't know about you. Maybe, hopefully not. If it is too loud, just post that in chat, and I'll lower the volume on my my end. But also, Loathe, one of the best new bands I think in recent years. They're very much Deftones inspired, but if you were to make Deftones heavier, that's where you're gonna go. They have a great sound. Like you have like obviously the heavy parts, but it. Hold on, I was trying to get to like a lighter moment. They just do a really great job of hitting that heaviness with ambience. Digital Veil, The Human Abstract. The Human Abstract is a band that is like they started probably like the mid 2000s, but the guitarist from that band is classically inspired. And while not in this track that I have on my playlist, a lot of their early work actually includes a lot of classical guitar mixed into the metal, which I think was really fantastic. This album, I believe, is the one where he came back after being gone for a couple albums, and it was kind of a nice little return there as well. Let's see, Unleash the Archers. I've heard that band. Have I reacted to any songs by them? I don't think so off the top of my head. I've heard of the band, but I don't recall if I've heard anything from them. And if I have, I've forgotten it, to be honest. Blood Eagle by Periphery. Oh, this song is just one of the best. Oh, it's such a good song, man. Oh, man. It is just that's the heavy one. That's the good one. We got some classic tracks like Symbolic from Death, Bloodbath with Eaton. Bloodbath is a band that Mikhail Akafeltz from Opeth started, so it's like a side project for him. It's just straight death metal there. Gojira, good band. Between the Buried and Me, love them. Some more Gojira. Strapping Young Lad, Meshuggah, a band that I don't know a ton about, but the songs that I've heard I really enjoy. I like this song a lot, The Faceless. Their bassist in The Faceless, he plays fretless bass a lot of times, and it works so well in their sound and what they do, and I just really enjoy it. Like this is their heavier track. This one gives a little bit of ambience to it. Hold on, let's skip it. Hold on, I know it's like skipping around about. That is so good. That is so good. Then Job for a Cowboy is a band that used to get made fun of a lot because they played deathcore, which I love deathcore. I don't want to say I grew up listening to it, but I listened to a lot of it, and it's made fun of just because the vocals, how obnoxiously heavy it is, and everything. And Job for a Cowboy was probably they were one of the hallmark bands of that, on the Mount Rushmore of that. But they've actually recently kind of reinvented themselves, and while keeping that same sound, they've done a fantastic job of adding a lot of musicality into what they've done. So they've kind of walked away from that image and went in a slightly different direction while keeping, of course, the heart of it. And they've just done an absolutely wonderful job. This band, All Shall Perish, is the best deathcore band. They don't exist anymore, but they are one of the best in what they do. That's really, really fantastic. Paul Bear with I Saw the End, which if you want something more melodic than what I've been playing, this would be closer to that. And they have very clean vocals as well. Just skip around. that is a really wonderful track from them. Car Bomb, that's just a crazy track. You got some Mastodon on here. Obscura, which if you watched my, I think, 2023 Albums of the Year video, they were featured there. During Grey, they're kind of like the Japanese Slipknot, even though that is also a little disingenuous because, I mean, Slipknot's great, but I do think that During Grey are more artistically creative in what they do. Now, this track is one of their heavy, kind of like, they just made it for one of the Saw movies, actually. But the vocals from him are... And then, like, he gets some... It's just really cool that the vocalist here is very noteworthy because of his variety of vocals and how his... It's the same guy. Same guy. That's just cool. Anyways, move on. Ovid's Withering is a band that, like, as far as I know, very small, not very known at all. Matter of fact, if I were to click on their Spotify really quick, 1,900 monthly listeners. That's like nothing, really. But they're incredible. They're absolutely incredible. And getting to the bottom of my metal playlist here, Candlemass with Bewitched, High on Fire. They're kind of like Mastodon in many ways. And this track by Job for a Cowboy is also really incredible. So this video was for the jazz and the metal. I got you that one. So now we're gonna move on to my other playlist. Let's go ahead and do